Hey everyone, welcome to Reddit Readout. Today we are checking out Am I the A-hole? Story 1. WIBTA. If I went back to the restaurant where I gave this woman my number at. I went out to eat with some friends the other day and I noticed one of the women working at the restaurant. She wasn't a waitress but she would take you to a seat when you came in. I didn't really say anything to her when I saw her but she was really beautiful. During dinner I was talking to my friends about her and I eventually just decided I was gonna go talk to her right as me and my friends were leaving. So I went up to her and I asked her name. She told me her name. I told her that she's really pretty. She said thank you. I asked her if she had a husband or anything and she smiled and kinda laughed and said she didn't. I then asked her if she'd like to get coffee and she gave me a sheet of paper and told me to write my name and number on it. I did and then I left and told her to have a good night. She hasn't texted me since last night so I'm wondering if I made a mistake by doing that. Would it be weird if I went back to that restaurant and she was there? If I see her, should I even say anything? Her demeanor seemed really nice so I can't tell if she didn't like our interaction or what, but she hasn't texted me. I don't want to go back and bother her or anything like that. Story 2. AITA. For calling out my BF. So, I, 23F, am dating my boyfriend, 25M, for around 1.5 years. For context, there was an intimate family function at his house which took place for the entire day from morning till late evening. Post this event, he came by my place to drop some things by which would be a 40-minute drive for him total. He came. We drove around for a very short while between which he told me multiple times that he's tired, he's sleepy and he's got a lot of office work to catch up on. I told that it's fine and he can drop me off and get to these things as of course I understand he's tired. About 1 hour later, I get a text from him that he's going to hang out with his friends. A long story short, he was with them till 4 AM the following morning drinking, having fun etc. Then when I got to know that he was with them till 4 AM, I got annoyed thinking, did he just not want to hang out with me? But I didn't tell him all this immediately. Where I feel I am the asshole, I kinda threw it at him at a point where I was annoyed at him. I did say that he's making shit up. He did justify it by saying he didn't have to drive with them / they picked him up and forced him to hang out. He's very annoyed with me about all this to say the least. Story 3. AITA. If I ask for more money for Christmas gift. My 28F grandparents live in England and wanted to send me 1,000 as a combined Christmas and birthday present. They don't trust the internet so they worked it out that my parents would give me the cash now, and they'd repay my mom when she goes to visit them next month. 1,000 is like $1,250 and I'm of course super grateful and thankful. Only problem is when my mom gave me the money it was $1,000. Still, super grateful and appreciative for any gift of any value, but $250 is substantial for me at this point in my life. My parents are very financially comfortable, my mom is amazing in every way, there is no possibility that she did this intentionally to pocket the extra. I didn't say anything about it at the time. It did occur to me that the conversion rate might be a little off but I didn't know it would be so much. I worry about the optics of bringing it up to my mom because I take a lot of pride in being financially independent. Even though I'm absolutely financially insecure at times and my parents have way more than enough, I never ask them for help. I feel really weird about going back now, days later, and asking for $250. Would I be the asshole if I asked to be made whole on this conversion rate? I might be the asshole because it seems like a bratty childish thing to do. Story 4. AITA. For not staying with my in-laws and staying with my own parents instead. My in-laws are visiting my hometown for Christmas. I have a pretty strained relationship with them. We had a big argument this year and although I attempted to call and make up with them several times, they refused my calls and would only answer via email. They're now visiting my hometown for Christmas. I don't live here anymore but my mum does. I'm staying with my mum with my husband and brother. But now my sister-in-law and my father have chipped in saying it's poor form not to be staying with the in-laws, who have rented a house. I find them really hard and I'd prefer to have them in small doses in order to feel like a better person when I am around them. It's for my own sanity, but am I wrong? My husband was going to stay at my mum's too. Sorry, Clarity, in-laws are staying at another house. Plenty of space. My sister-in-law and my father's not in town and not present, just sticking his nose in, think I should stay at the rented house with my in-laws over staying with my mum. I don't really care where my husband stays, he can stay either, I don't mind. But sister-in-law and my dad seem to think I am a for not looking after my in-laws fully while they are here. I don't know what my in-laws think yet. We are hosting them for Christmas Day etc. and I was planning on seeing them every day. Just didn't want to stay there to maintain some distance and see more of my mum. Story 5. WIBTA if I took my baby to the zoo for the first time without my husband. So my 26F husband, 26M, is obsessed with football. Like to the point that it's taking over all of his free time during the fall. We have a 7-month-old little boy, and I've been trying for a while to convince my husband to take a Saturday away from football so we can take our kid to the zoo for the first time. He's had varying excuses, like it's going to be too hot, there's a big game that he wants to watch, or there's too much stuff to do around the house, so I've let it go. So tomorrow is going to be the first day in the area we live in where the weather is actually cooling off. I've been really excited all week thinking about what we should do with the first day. It's actually going to feel like fall weather, and I mentioned to my husband this morning that I want to take our son to the zoo tomorrow morning since it will be so nice out. He agreed at first, because he loves cooler weather as well, but then he remembered that there's a big college football game on tomorrow smack in the middle of when the zoo will be open. He wants to wait for the game to be over before going to the zoo, but at that point we'll only have an hour or two left for the zoo to be open and we'll miss the coolest time of the day. He's also planning on going to a football viewing party all day on Sunday, so it's not just like we can go then. I am working overtime the next few weekends, and I don't know when the weather is going to be good again. So, WIBTA if I just went without him and leave him to watch his football game? Or even if I said that I'm taking our son in the morning and he can choose to come with or not. Story 6. AITA for refusing to help my mom out with tech stuff. I, 23F, live with my mom, 55F, who needs constant help with the pyramid scheme business, which I don't even want to say a word about it because most of the time, she doesn't really listen to me. She doesn't really use laptops like that, but when she does, it's most likely for work or other things. She's been having Zoom meetings for almost 2 months at least twice a week, and she'll ask me how to go on Zoom. I did showed her for at least a good month on how to get to Zoom and how to share screen. Which icons to use on the app and scroll up and down button. I even gave her a jot points list on how to use a laptop and how to access Zoom and everything, so when I'm away, she can see the notes or text me to clarify. Today, she asked me to help her how to make an ad for the pyramid scheme, and I told her why am I supposed to do? I don't even know what type of ad this is. Shouldn't these business leaders that are hosting the Zoom calls teach you on how to do it since you're sharing your screen with them? And after that, she just stopped talking to me, and I still offered her to use my laptop either way, but she said I don't want to deal with it tonight. I'll just do it tomorrow. Story 7. WIBTA for not going to my nephew's baptism. My husband and I got married earlier this year. From the beginning of our relationship, there have been a few instances where his older sister and I have butted heads. She's about 5 years older than him, and they have a very weird relationship where she tends to make him sound immature, ESP in front of parents, and they fight constantly about him owing her money. This has been the root of my disdain for her. Since I have a very loving relationship with my siblings, we rarely fight, and I would never tell them that they owe me money for going out to dinner, paying for flights to see each other, etc. Anyway, the issue I am currently having is that apparently she told him, not asked, that he is going to be the godfather of her son, our nephew. I was not made aware of this until I just discovered it now, and he apparently had no choice. It was simply ordered by her that he do it, and the baptism is this upcoming weekend. I'm upset that as his wife, I was not involved in any conversation regarding this, and I feel quite disrespected by it. Honestly, every family event is extremely uncomfortable for me as I always have to deal with them arguing like children, and I feel like I'm part of this whole family dynamic of her being the golden child and him being the problem child. I feel like we get no respect from her, her husband, and sometimes even the parents, since everyone always sides with her. WIBTA for skipping out on this baptism that I was not considered to be a part of? TLDR, I feel like I would be the asshole by not attending an upcoming baptism because I was not advised that my husband would be the godfather. Story 8. AITA for refusing to bring my GFS money for Nick. 19M, got a text today from my girlfriend, 17, asking her if I could bring her money for juice and pods from her cousin, but I flat out refused. She says it's her money and she can do what she want with it, and I said, well, it's your money, you should bring it. Not only do I just completely hate this aspect of her, and her unwillingness to quit. Yes, I understand quitting nicotine is one of the hardest obstacles, but she's never even wanted to quit, but I also do not think I should participating in the endeavor when she is 4 years under the legal age requirement. I'm stuck between feeling like a good boyfriend for not wanting her to destroy her young lungs, but also feeling like a bad one for not doing what she asks. Story 9. AITA for making my neighbor an ashtray when he had cig butts piling up in a crack. 28NB, one day saw that my neighbor had a small pile of cig butts on his deck that he was stuffing in a small crack. For context, I am a practicing ceramic artist and I practice making different things often whenever I can. When I saw he had a pile of cig butts, I thought of making an ashtray. I made one and put a note that said Happy Holidays on it. Now the bag is gone, the ashtray is not on the deck and all the cig butts are gone. Also for context, I didn't go snooping on his deck. He and I both have small side door entrances directly facing each other. Am I the asshole? I did it because I thought it would be nice and he needed one. All my friends are saying I am creepy and that it was a passive-aggressive move. Can't neighbors be nice? That's all for today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.